Okay, so when you think of Italian bubbly, your mind probably jumps straight to Prosecco, right? But what if I told you there's another Italian sparkling wine, one made with the exact same painstaking method as champagne, that's quietly aiming to be one of the best in the world? Today, we are diving into the elegant, complex world of Franciacorta. This quote absolutely nails it. Most wine regions in Italy are famous for a bunch of different things, but Franciacorta? Nope. It is all about one thing, and one thing only: mastering the art of the bubble. This isn't just another wine for them, it's a mission. Tucked away in Lombardy, a group of really ambitious winemakers basically looked at what's happening in Champagne and said, okay, we see what you're doing, and we think we can do it too, but with our own Italian soul. I mean, that was a seriously bold declaration. So how in the world did they pull it off? Well, it wasn't just luck. It was this perfect storm of ancient glacial soils, a modern-day obsession with quality, and, honestly, some of the strictest winemaking rules on the entire planet. So first, let's talk about that ambition. How did a place that was relatively unknown become Italy's sparkling wine champion in just a few decades? People have been making wine here for centuries, but the modern story of Franciacorta really kicks off in the 1960s. That's when a handful of visionaries started aiming for that champagne level of quality. But the real game changer? That was 1995. That's when they were granted DOCG status, which is Italy's absolute highest seal of quality. It was basically the government saying, yep, this stuff isn't just good, this is elite. But of course, all that ambition would have been for nothing without the right foundation. In winemaking, everything, and I mean everything, comes back to the land, the terroir. And Franciacorta's is it's truly one of a kind. The secret really starts deep underground. Thousands and thousands of years ago, massive glaciers scraped through this area, and they left behind an incredible gift: this morainic soil. It's absolutely packed with minerals, but it drains water so well that the vines really have to struggle, digging their roots deep down. And that struggle? That's what creates grapes with incredible complexity and flavor. And then you have this microclimate, which is kind of like a natural air conditioning system. You get these cool breezes coming down from the Alps, which keeps the grapes fresh and holds on to that crucial acidity. But at the same time, the massive Lake Aseo nearby acts like a giant thermal blanket, protecting the vines from getting too cold. It's this perfect push and pull that lets the grapes ripen super slowly and develop these really deep, amazing flavors. So you've got the perfect land and the perfect climate, but that's only half the story. The other half is all about the people, the incredibly meticulous, painstaking method they use to create those bubbles. In Franciacorta, there are absolutely no shortcuts. Every single bottle has to be made using the metodo classico, the traditional method. This is the same difficult, expensive, and really time-consuming process they use in champagne, where all the magic of that second fermentation happens inside each individual bottle. That right there is the secret to getting those tiny, elegant, long-lasting bubbles. And the process itself is just a testament to patience. It all begins with hand-picking every single grape. After the first fermentation, the still wine is bottled with a little bit of yeast and sugar. And then comes the most important part, the aging. The wine just sits on what they call the lees, the expired yeast cells, for months, sometimes even years. This is where the wine develops those incredible, complex flavors of brioche and toast and nuts. It's a slow, expensive step, but it's completely essential. And get this, the minimum aging time required by law is 18 months. Now, to put that in perspective, the minimum for a non-vintage champagne is only 15 months. So yeah, even the most basic Franciacorta is held to a higher standard of aging. And for their top-tier Reserva wines, those can age for 5 years or even more before they're ever released. That is a serious, serious commitment to quality. Okay, so we know the place and we know the process, but what does it actually taste like? Well, to figure that out, we've got to look at the grapes they're using and the different styles they're making.
So, the main grapes are probably going to sound familiar. They're the same ones you'd find in Champagne. Chardonnay provides that elegant, acidic backbone. Pinot Noir gives it body and structure. But then they have a secret weapon, this rare local grape called Yerba Mate. It has this incredibly high acidity, so winemakers are starting to use it to keep their wines crisp and fresh, especially as the climate gets warmer. It's a nod to tradition that's actually helping them innovate for the future.
Now, when you're looking at a bottle, the label gives you some really good clues to the style. Pastosé is the purest, bone-dry style with 0 added sugar. Brut is that classic, versatile choice that works for everything. But you have to look out for Satan. It's a style that is totally unique to Franciacorta. It's made only from white grapes and bottled with just a little less pressure, which gives it this incredible, silky, creamy texture. It's a definite must-try.
Franciacorta has achieved so much in such a short amount of time, it's pretty amazing. But what does the future hold? Well, like every great wine region, it's facing its own set of challenges.
And these challenges are real. Climate change threatens the very freshness that makes these wines so elegant. Plus, they constantly have to explain why they're worth more than other sparkling wines in a very crowded market. The response from the best producers has been to lean hard into sustainability and organic farming, because they believe that a healthier environment will create better, more resilient wines for the future. So when faced with all these pressures, their strategy isn't to change who they are. Instead, it's to become even more themselves. They are doubling down on quality, on expressing their unique land, and on that signature elegant style that got them here in the first place. In a world that's so often focused on making things faster and cheaper, Franciacorta is this powerful reminder of what's possible with patience, with craftsmanship, and with a deep, deep respect for the land. It really makes you wonder, could this be the new benchmark for fine sparkling wine? I think it just might be.